Hello and welcome to the Housing Minute. My name is Samuel Gunter and I'm the Executive Director of the North Carolina Housing Coalition. And it has been a big week in the world of affordable housing. We have a lot that we need from you today and tomorrow, and so please stick with us. We had two major announcements from the governor that impact the way that we have been talking about House Bill 1200. And we need action today and tomorrow on House Bill 1200 because the General Assembly is in session next week. So here's the context. 2 days ago, the governor had a press conference that announced $175 million in housing recovery money for COVID response. What's important to note in that $175 million is that we have been waiting on this announcement. We've known about it. It's the added ESG funding that was in the CARES Act. It's the added CDBG money that was in the CARES Act, as well as some money on top of CARES Act funding. What is new in this announcement, and we've been teasing it over the last several weekly calls, especially the one with Laura Hogshead from the North Carolina Office of Recovery and Resiliency, is that that office, NCORE, will be managing the rental and utility assistance. That's the big news, but we have known that this is coming down the pike. That's critical to note because it doesn't replace what we have been working on in House Bill 1200, and I'll get there. The second big announcement from the governor was yesterday, where he laid out his budget proposal before the General Assembly comes into session. And in that, he is proposing a ballot measure that has a bond for education, infrastructure, and affordable housing. It's a significant amount of money, and it's good news, but it's a ballot measure for November 2021. So we have money that we have known about that is finally being activated, and money off in the future. House Bill 1200 plugs several gaps in both of those announcements. So one, what was announced by the governor and that $175 million does not include anything for home ownership for folks who own their homes and are struggling. It doesn't include anything for housing counseling agencies or legal service providers that is in House Bill 1200. And because of some of the rules, the funding in House Bill 1200 would give some added flexibility for folks who may not qualify for assistance under some of the other pots of money. House Bill 1200 is still critical to pass, and we need that support now, particularly in the Senate. We have broad bipartisan support in the House, and there seems to be some very strong energy to get this done. But what we need is support in the Senate. So what we need from you right now is for you to pick up the phone and call your state senator and let them know that we need House Bill 1200 to pass in the session next week. Thank you, and you can find more details in the posts below, and we will see you next week.